Namaste,
Namaste
Namaste Techies,
Techies. Namaste
Namaste Hadu.
Hardeep.
All
It was
right,
better today, right?
it is better.
Our Namaste.
It's getting better. It's getting easier.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, we have so much fun.
Yeah.
Uh, so, anyways, we will have supposed to have like a special guest today, but it's postponed for the next episode.
Yep.
So it's okay. We'll introduce our friend next time. And but today we got some exciting stuff because the Config Manager SCCM world got some exciting thing last week, right?
Yep. And that is nothing but 2111, isn't it? Oh.
2111.
And sometimes I feel like Intune is competing with SSCM or SSCM is competing with Intune, right? Intune released a version
2111.
2111, right? And now SSCM is also released, or Configuration Manager is also released the same version, right? So
Right.
that's good.
It's good. It's
Good,
good.
good,
They're
good
keeping
for
up.
IT pros. Yeah, IT pros, right? When there is a
Yeah.
competition, people will get better things, right?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
That was the backstory, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes. I know. I read between the lines. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's exciting stuff. Config Manager 2111 came out, and so this is the last one for the year, obviously. And so, in case people don't know, there are generally three releases a year, right? You get the spring release, and then you get like the summer release, the middle of the year kind of a thing, and then the end of the year. So this is what it is, right? So we had 2103, we had 2107, and now 2111, and then next year
Yeah.
will be 2203 or oh 04, whatever it is,
Yeah,
right?
that's an interesting point, right? When Microsoft started, a configuration manager team started this release, three releases per year. It was all about catching up with Windows 10 releases, right?
Right.
Every year there are two Windows 10 releases, and they want to support the Windows 10 version, newest version. Um, uh, before
Right, for
like
OSD and
yeah
things like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now I don't know, like, whether there is any secret change is coming in future, because Windows 11 is only once, right? And Windows 10 is also only once a
21H2,
year.
it's only
Yeah.
one. Yes. So going
So
forward, it's only one for Windows.
yeah.
You never know. But
Yeah.
but I think there's so much, in my opinion, there's so much, so many features that people want in Config Manager and Intune. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like an evolving, hey, we could better manage things with this feature or enable this or things like that. So I think there's always going to be that. I think if you wait a year, it's a bit too long, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
But we'll
And
see.
and Intune is every month, right? That's pretty fast, right?
Yeah, yeah. The only thing about Intune is that you can't force it to upgrade to the new version
Yeah.
unless until your tenant actually gets it.
Yeah.
So you just have to, like, it's a waiting game. He's like,
It's
hey, why
it's
are
all
those?
controlled from here, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. Well, it's Config Manager, you can do the fast ring, right, with a PowerShell script, and you can get it the same day it came out and do whatever. And so I'm like always like trying to refresh my Intune tenant, like, do I get it? No, not yet. you know.
Even I feel that even though I have a Asia Pack ring, that is the first ring always get the
Yeah.
newest features in Intune. But sometimes even after releasing the Microsoft documentation, reading it, I need to wait 2 more days or 3 more days to get that. Right. So there should
Right.
be some secret to get
There
it
should be some
faster.
secret. So
We'll
yeah,
share that
because
whenever we
because I was
come to
waiting for
know.
2111 Intune 2111 because I wanted to play with the remote help
Hmm.
feature. The new one. And I was like, oh, and then finally I got it.
Yeah.
So in all my tenants now. But that's the difference between Config Manager and Intune. Intune, you just have to wait, and Config
Yeah.
Manager, it's your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so let's showcase some new
Yeah.
things.
Let me share my screen and go through it. Okay. So this is my configuration manager console and the console version. As you know, now it is better to understand the console version, right? Because the configuration manager version number is the
Yeah,
sec.
the same.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is the same thing over here. 5 dot
2111.
2111 and then the blah 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 number, right? So
Right.
okay, so that is a version of configuration manager 2111. And then if you go to administration, and if you go to updates and servicing, you would be able to see, okay, this is installed, 2111 installed, and this is opt-in version, as you mentioned, Harjit. So basically, you
Yeah.
need to run the PowerShell's command, then only you
Yes.
will get this version until now. Probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or we don't know when Microsoft releases this in a general ring, right? So,
Yeah.
okay. So let's see. Check the version over here. This version is 55009068 and one zero
1000.
zero zero. Right. So that is the full version, and the client version is same, but it ends with 1005. Okay. And for example, if I want to show you what is there in the prerequisite checks, which I want to kind of highlight,
Mm,
right? Prerequisite check, you need to make sure the .NET version of your site servers are upgraded to the latest version, right, or latest supported version. Otherwise, it is going to give you a lot of headache, right? And this is the in the previous version of configuration manager, it was just a warning, and in
yes.
this version it is kind of a error, right?
Yeah.
So you cannot proceed unless and until you upgrade or install the latest supported version of .NET. Okay. And there are some other things like SQL database things, SQL Server edition version, SQL Server supported version, etc., etc. Right? You need to take care of. So I
Yeah.
have probably we can link the blog post which I created with all these details into the
Yeah.
description of the videos. That would be helpful, right?
That will
If
be
you are
helpful. Yeah.
interested. Okay, now let's go to administration again, and let's show some features over here, right? I'm kind of excited about two things over here. One is orchestration group is not a pre-release anymore, right? That is released and it is fully featured now. Okay, that doesn't mean that you cannot request for new features. Okay, you can always. There's a website, new website, which I blogged about recently. I think 2 3 weeks back.
Right.
Microsoft Feedback. Right, that is a new thing where you can. It is replacing the user voice portals.
Yeah.
Probably most of the configuration admins know about user voice. Now that's been replaced with Microsoft Feedback Portal. So you can go in, and if you have some good idea or a crazy idea, you can put it over there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing is application. Where is it?
Application groups.
Yeah, application groups, right? That is also out of pre-release now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that means it's feature rich. All the features which Microsoft initially designed is part of this release now. Okay,
Right.
so that's great news.
So
Now,
one thing we
mhm,
should make it clear. A lot of people think, oh, if it's marked as pre-released, I mean, it's not good. It's it's still like it's not supported. No, that's not the case. Pre-release means that there's continued, um, feature
Development of, yeah.
updates and development into that particular tool set. So it is ready to use right now. It is supported, but it continues to get improvements to it, and then finally once they're done, then they become a release version. That's basically what it means. All right,
Yeah,
move on.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, initially, even when they started this funda about pre-release and
Yeah,
release, I was also confused.
yeah,
What is the difference between both? It's clear. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to let's stay in administration itself and go to the client settings and show something over here, right? Default, I'm going to open the default client settings and show you something interesting. I hope it would be interesting. Okay. So let's go to software sender first, and let's try to customize it, and probably you will find something interesting over here, right? See, there's something called notification icon, notification
yes,
logo. Okay, that's interesting, right? Whenever you have an software deployment notification or software deployment from SCCM or a configuration manager, the client device or a user will get a notification with the logo. That is I think that gives more confidence in users. Oh, okay, yeah, this is coming from the relevant sources, right? this is
yeah,
this is original, not any other notification, right? Because the notifications are flooded nowadays, right?
yeah,
All the Windows notifications, right? From the third party applications, etc., etc., right? So this is very good, I think. But if you click on browse, there's some interesting things over here. So let's close this first, and if you click on this hint, you can see the image size should be within 2 MB, okay,
right,
2 megabytes. And if you click on browse, you would be able to select a picture. Okay, so for example, if I select this particular picture, and say, oh, okay, it is not allowed because the width and height of the logo should be equal. In this
right. It should be
case,
a square, right?
yeah, in
Yeah.
this case, this I selected this particular image, the above one, right? That is the logo of the software sender itself,
Mhm.
not the notification logo. Okay, I tried to put the same thing into the notification, but it didn't work. So you need to be careful about that, right? And you need to select any logo similar with the same width and height, I think, right?
Right.
Okay, so that is about the notification first thing. And then now let's move to some other thing, right? Software update, for example, over here. Let's cancel this and move to software updates.
Software update. Yep.
Yeah, and there is some interesting notification, another notification option over here. Okay, that's probably you might not have seen this in the previous versions of Configuration Manager. That is enable update notification from Microsoft 365 application. Right.
Yep.
So by default, this is not enabled, but you have an option to enable it if you want. Okay, so that is another interesting feature I found pretty useful. Okay. Okay, so let's cancel this and go to some other interesting stuff and fun stuff, probably, right? Um, all work from home scenarios, VPN connected devices, it's always kind of there was a learning curve for a lot of configuration
Yeah.
manager admins, right? They were using peer to peer, and they were using third party content providers, etc. And then all the users started using wi-fi, home wi-fi, and connected VPN. Then it's all messed up lot of things, right? How to configure the VPN boundaries, etc. Now
True.
with this one, right? VPN boundary, my Microsoft is coming up with a new option, right? If I go over here, and if you see, if you can check out this one, right? There's an
Oh, there's a
option
type
called
called VPN. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
there's a start with thing, right? That is pretty interesting. If you have a particular vendor VPN, then probably they have a prefix probably, right, for all the VPN connections.
Right.
So you can use this search with option, sorry, start with option, and use that particular prefix if your organization is using that particular vendor for VPN, for example Cisco or whatever, right, whatever it may
Right.
be. Okay, so this is pretty useful, and I have seen like some great feedbacks from the community as well
Mm,
about this. This has been their headache for many months now, and with this they are going to get what do you call good use of this particular feature, right? So
yeah. Exactly.
okay, now let's quickly go to the other one, right? And we don't want to waste people time, right? So
Yeah.
let's go to software updates and check automatic deployment rules. Okay, what is over here? So let me open one of the ADR rules over here and click on properties. You can do it when you create ADR, and you can change it from here also, right? For
Right.
example, if you want to go to change if you want to change the filter or search criteria over here, right, go to software updates tab over here, and if you go to this one, date released, revised. Okay, so there are some interesting options here. I think we discussed this, and you provided a
We
lot
did.
of tips
Yeah.
about the real world scenarios, right? that
Right.
was that was very good. Okay, now with this 2111 release, what Microsoft did is, see, there are older than option over here. That is pretty
That is
useful,
new.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are new, and this is useful. This is going to be useful for because all these are like Microsoft is not kind of coming up with out of box ideas. Probably most of the community is asking for this, and Microsoft is helping community, or they
Right.
can check
With all
the
the
tech.
feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And they can check the telemetry also, right? What the people are
Mm.
struggling with, right? And
Exactly.
uh, probably with that, with these type of options, a lot of real world issues can be mitigated, right? So older than a year, and then 30 days, 6 months, 60 days, 90 days, right?
Right.
So different options are there. According to your requirement, you can kind of select it, right? And
Yeah.
hopefully this is going to help you in your software update deployments. Okay, now let's go into the one which is,
Consequences.
yeah, which is kind of useful in terms of Windows 11 deployments, right? Do we can do some kind of checks before the Windows 11 deployments, right, with this.
Mm.
Okay.
You want to edit
Now,
that? Yeah.
yeah. So recently, not recently, I think 2 years before or something, they changed the default behavior of double clicking the
Yeah.
task sequence, right? Before it was edit when you double click. Now it is view. That is the,
Now it's yeah.
yeah. Now let's try to add settings over here, and I forgot which one it is. General. Okay, general. If you go to general and add check readiness step over here, you can see something over here that is relevant for
Right.
Windows 11, right? TPM, everybody was very crazy about all these TPM requirements, right? When Microsoft released Windows 11 with all these requirements, right?
Yeah.
But
And
uh,
UEFI.
yeah, yeah. Now I
Yeah.
think that has settled down a bit, right?
Yeah.
So
So the TPM is yeah. The The big one.
So yeah, now we with this 2111 version of Configuration Manager, you can check this okay before probably starting the task sequence of Windows 11 upgrade or something like that, right? So that is pretty useful, and you can identify this from the start of the task sequence, right? So probably you won't kind of delete the partition or format the hard disk, and then you will come to know, oh, this is not TPM2. So, no, just kidding.
Right.
Because there will be people like in your organization, there will be old hardwares, and probably you will get into this kind of challenges.
Exactly. Run into those challenges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
good to have there. Yeah.
yep. These are the main features from my perspective, and there are a
Mhm.
lot of additional features in terms of UI in assets and complaints collections. If you go to collections, there are some additional
Yeah.
views, etc., and there are additional dashboards included into the Windows servicing, which includes
Yes.
Windows 11 as well, etc. So it's pretty good release and stable release. Yeah, but I was thinking this will get released on I think 29th of November or something, right? Monday
Okay.
29th or 29th of November. And djam asked me one in this about this in Twitter, and I said like, oh, my prediction date is 29th, and djam said then I will go with 30th, right? Uh,
But it was
but
actually December 1st.
yeah, it was actually December 1st. But what was my logic was like, in previous three previous versions of Configuration Manager got released on the last Monday of the month.
Right.
Okay, and I didn't recognize, or I didn't think about the Thanksgiving
Yes,
week.
Thanksgiving was the week
Yeah,
before. Yeah.
holiday, right?
Yeah.
That is kind of getting more load to the Configuration Manager team, and they are not working, so probably that's why it got shifted to December, right?
To the
So,
December 1st.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so this is pretty fresh, pretty new.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited, and I've upgraded mine too, and it's good stuff. And I think yeah, I mean you showed some really great tips from client settings to the ADRs and all the hidden stuff, right?
Uh,
Because you only find out like once you're playing with it or you're trying to create something new, you're like, where did this come from? This is new. I've never seen this before. But yeah, it's all like hidden gems.
yep.
So, but otherwise, functionality of config manager is the same. I mean, it's and it's not going to change the way you use it at your enterprise and how you manage your devices. It's just that you got some new things.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the functionalities going away, apart from some hints about asset intelligence going away, deprecated,
Deprecate.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
deprecated,
yeah,
right? So we
right.
don't have more information about it yet, right? At least I don't have. So
Right. Me neither.
so we'll see, right? That
We'll
is
see. Yeah.
not going away from this version or something, nothing like that, as Harjit mentioned, right? As you mentioned, Harjit, like it is there, it is still
Yeah.
there, right?
It's still
It's
there.
just an
Yeah.
yeah, it's just an announcement. Okay, probably in coming versions, or maybe next year, or sometimes I think it is there in the documentation. I don't remember the exact
Yeah.
date, right? But you can start preparing for it. Okay, that
True.
is the
True.
idea about it.
Yeah. No, this is good. Excellent.
Yeah.
So, all right. Until next time, you know where to find us. And
Yeah, and don't forget to. I'm not going to say dislike. Nobody is disliking. Now everything is good. Right?
that's what.
So, so like,
Like,
subscribe,
share,
share. Right? Don't
and
forget to do that.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our subscriptions are going up. I mean, people are loving it. We get some really good comments. We love those. I mean, even though they're quick, whether it's a great job or thank you or I like this episode or something like that. I mean, it gives us good feeling that we want to continue doing more. So we try to give you guys little bite-sized things for you to work on, rather than a big concept of something, right? You got some small stuff that you can search our YouTube channel and find the content and enjoy. So all right, until next time. Namaste.
Namaste.